Hi everyone, it's Marina. Welcome to the Eco Goddess YouTube channel. It feels so good to say that. It's been a little bit since I've been on here, and I want to give a life update. I want to tell you guys a little bit about what's been going on for me, but if you just want to skip straight to the video and the tips for lowering that waist in 2020, I'm going to leave the minute here that you can scroll to. For the life update, I will give you some updates, some huge wins that I'm really excited to share, and also just some personal stuff. I'll start with the wins first. Zero Waste Kit has now 2 interns, and I'm so excited to say this. Hannah, Jason, these 2 lovely human beings that support me in Zero Waste Kit, spreading the message, building the tribe, and this took me a little bit longer than it should have in terms of having more people on the Zero Waste Kit team. I'm someone who kind of self-destructs. I'll be on a really good streak, like for a while. I'll be like kicking booty, doing a lot of stuff, and then all of a sudden there's too much stuff to do and I don't do anything. I just kind of, all of it collapses on me. I think I can do it, and I'm like, I think I can do it, I think I can do it. Hell, I know I can do it, and I can't do it, especially when there's too much on me. And so that's just one win that I wanted to share with you, is I finally took my own advice of asking for help when you need it, and I asked for help. I'm really excited to just have 2 people on my team, my small startup team, and that feels really good. The second win that I want to share with you about Zero Waste Kit is that at the very end of the year, TED reached out to me. TED conferences, you guys might have seen some TED Talks before. That organization reached out to Zero Waste Kit for a holiday gift collaboration. They ordered a few hundred Zero Waste Kits to hand out to their employees to support their employees on their zero waste journeys, on reducing their everyday waste. When I got this email from TED, I screamed. I was like, this can't be happening. Like, what? And I went back to the computer to read it to make sure that it was real, and it was real. Their kits arrived mid-December, and so they have those, and that just felt that felt like the biggest victory in the world, just to know that companies like TED are discovering the zero waste mission and they want to reduce their everyday waste. They're waking up to the global waste crisis, and it's just truly an honor to be a part of the movement as a startup, as a company, to be able to provide these sustainably and ethically made kits. So now that I've shared a little bit about business, I wanted to share some personal life updates with you. I would be lying to you if I told you that 2019 was an easy year. It was certainly one of the hardest years of my life. All of that being said, I wanted to apologize for not coming on YouTube as much as I wanted to this year, for not posting. I find it very hard to do anything, not just post on YouTube, but do anything, eat, exercise, if my emotions are all over the place, and 2019 was certainly a year of that. I think everyone goes through times, everyone goes through dark times, and without going into too much detail, I was having some relationship issues, some self-esteem issues, some confidence issues, and honestly, some really hard times where I felt as though I lost my mission and I lost my purpose in this life, and I felt as though I had no purpose. Those days were really hard days. They didn't happen often, but they would happen, and I would kind of just lay in bed and feel like I wish I could just go away. I wish I could just not be in existence, which is so crazy to say and to hear myself say that, because I'm generally a very optimistic and happy person. Oftentimes when people meet me, they're like, yeah, she's definitely on some drugs or something. And I'm like, no, this is just me. I'm just, you know, kind of a kook, kind of crazy, kind of a lot crazy, but happy, you know? And this year I didn't feel that same vigor, that same happiness, that same contentment, that same passion for life. So I had to deal with that a lot this year, and that's one of the reasons, actually the main reason, really the only reason why I hadn't posted much on here, was that I was getting in my way. I was stuck in a cyclone of dark emotions, and I am taking steps to work on myself and to work on that. I will always share with you what's honestly going on for me. A lot of my saving graces in this life have been meditation, have been yoga, have been a gratitude practice, have been praying, all of these things, and I'm happy to make a video on all of these topics. Just let me know down below. But that's my personal life update with a lot of words. Is that it hasn't been the easiest year, 2019. I'm very excited for it to be a new decade, 2020. Let's get it. And say goodbye. Put that chapter to rest. That dark chapter. And that's not to say that, you know, darkness will never come again. I think life is a continuous journey of dealing with light and dark and learning how to find balance between the two. That really is my intention going into 2020, is to find that balance and to find that love within myself, which lights the path for me to shed love and to give love to others and to the world at large. All of that being said, let's jump into the video and talk about ways that we can reduce waste in 2020. Tip number one for reducing waste in 2020 is to bring around your reusables, whether that is the zero waste kit or a kit that you make yourself. It's so important to be prepared at all times. This is a lesson that I've learned over and over again, and I still continue to learn. We're human, we're not perfect, and there have certainly been times, even in the past month, where I forgot my reusables and I was out, I was in a bind, and I had to create a little bit of waste. So needless to say, being prepared is the recipe for success when it comes to avoiding single-use plastics and unnecessary waste. Tip number two, which will kind of go into tip number three as well, is the two-step method. For those of you who have watched some of my videos before, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, have no fear, I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. So I have this thing that I like to call the two-step method for going low waste, or living low waste, living zero waste. And the first step of that is to evaluate and to look in the mirror and to assess where you're at right now in life, where you're creating the most waste. I think selecting 3 areas of your life that you're creating the most waste is the easiest place to start. So whether that's looking in your car, your fridge, your pantry, your room, select 3 main areas that you're creating the most waste. And then tip number 3, which will be number 2 of the two-step method. I know, right? There's so many numbers, I'm sorry. Step number 2 of the two-step method is to make the move and to start weaving out slowly, taking baby steps toward reducing those areas of waste in your life. Just for me personally, the main way, like number 1, was food. A lot of the ways that my food would come in the past was in packaging, in plastic packaging that could not be recycled and had to go to the landfill. And so that was the first area that I took baby steps towards reducing that waste. And what is the alternative to reducing your waste while grocery shopping? Bring shopping bags. Shop in bulk if you can, and buy items that are in containers that you can reuse or recycle. Composting is one of the best ways that you can reduce your waste in your household. If you don't have access to a compost bin or you can't make a compost pile at your home, consider freezing your food scraps and then bringing them to the local farmer's market, somewhere where you can donate those food scraps and have them composted responsibly. On another note, if you do live in a city or town that has composting offered, curbside composting, that is also a really great way to discard your food scraps. Shop secondhand, go to a clothing swap, or host your own, or borrow. I love sharing this statistic. The water required to produce a single pair of jeans is equivalent to what someone could drink over the course of 7 years. That's just blue jeans. I'm actually wearing some right now. Jeans are one of my favorite wardrobe staples. Buying clothing that isn't new is one of the greatest ways that you can help the environment, not supporting fast fashion, instead slow fashion. And if you are to buy items of clothing new, find companies that are doing it right, that are paying their workers well, fair trade, that are growing the cotton organically, that are using hemp. Do research before you spend your hard-earned dollar on their company, on their clothing. I hope that these tips help you and inspire you as you continue to embark on your low-waste journey this 2020. And I'm excited to be on here more this year to learn and grow as a community and to support a more just and thriving planet. See ya.